What's going on, I just want to bring you guys another video on crypto from the outdoor hammock. In this video, I'm going to be attempting to answer what crypto tier are you, or at least what crypto tier would I consider you to fall under, as well as the ever pervasive, always difficult question of what is the actual difference between a degen and a crypto investor. At the end of the day, are they really all that different, or are they actually cut from the same cloth? I'm going to be attempting to answer that in this video today. Of course, guys, none of this is financial advice. Please always do your own research. I'm just some dude in a hammock giving you their 2 cents on the market. I want to hear what you guys think in the comments down below. So let's go ahead and get straight into the video. Like I said, I'm going to be breaking us crypto investors up into a couple of different tiers. The earlier tiers, tier 0/tier 1, and the earlier ones are going to be a little bit less freedom oriented. They're going to be a little bit easier, a little bit more normie or retail centric, as we like to say in crypto. And then the later tiers are going to be a little bit more for those of us that have been deeper in crypto for a while, or just want to have a little bit more freedom and control over our money. So let's go ahead and get into it. Like I said, tier 0, tier 1, these are more early investor friendly. And I would have to say the best way to get involved and the best way to define yourself is if you're still using TradFi apps that have adapted into getting into crypto, you're really the tier 1 investor, crypto investor. These are apps like if you're using Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, Revolut, I'd even throw in there. If you're buying any of the crypto ETFs, you're probably in this tier 1. The only reason I don't say tier 0 is tier 0, you probably haven't even started investing yet, or just starting investing, or your investing journey. Maybe that's the ETFs category. But for these people, you've downloaded this app, you've been buying and selling, sending money around with your friends. And so you see some crypto thing, you've had someone tell you when you were out smoking weed somewhere, one of your friends told you to try buying this meme coin or try buying some crypto. So you saw they had it on your Venmo, you bought a little bit of Solana, you bought a little bit of Bitcoin, you decided to buy it on those apps. But although it's really good to get people into crypto, I think it's important for us to understand, and if you're watching this video, you probably already know this, that you don't actually own the crypto on those apps. Those are really just IOUs at the end of the day. So if we wanted to go into the next evolution, if we wanted to sort of step up in our crypto journey, then we're going to move on to potentially tier 2, which is the general centralized crypto exchanges. These include things like Coinbase, Crypto.com, Binance, Robinhood, Webull. It's kind of similar to tier 1 in terms of you're actually owning IOUs whenever you buy crypto. The difference is, though, that you can actually take the cryptos on here and you can send them to decentralized apps like Phantom and some of the other tiers that we're going to be getting into in a minute here. So although it is very similar in that you're not actually owning your keys, you don't actually own your crypto. It's a very common thing you hear in the crypto space, not your keys, not your crypto. You still have the potential to actually own your crypto if you just want to buy it on the exchange and then send it to another app. And again, like I said, it's very similar to the tier 1 crowd. However, these apps, Coinbase, Crypto.com, Binance, etc., like I said, they tend to have a little bit more freedom, a little bit more flexibility, and a little bit more options in terms of cryptos that you can buy. They don't tend to be as strict as some of those other platforms, only having the larger cap things. Now, entering into tier 3, here we go. We're starting to dip our toes into the degen / long-term investor mindset, or the real crypto evangelists, if you will. Tier 3 is we're entering DeFi, and this would be something like getting a hot wallet. And depending on the crypto that you're interested in, or depending on how you're getting involved, this could look a couple different ways. The most common hot wallets out there are like MetaMask, Trust Wallet. There's also Phantom, there's Zaman. Really, these hot wallets that you get are going to depend on what chain you're in, what chain you want to get involved in the future. Some of them will allow you to get involved in pretty much all of the major chains or all of the major cryptos, and some of them are a little more crypto specific. So now maybe once you've bought on the centralized exchanges, you want to send these cryptos to a hot wallet, which actually allows you to own your crypto. You will own your keys with a lot of these. So then even if you download, let's say MetaMask or Trust Wallet or Phantom, and you want to transfer your crypto onto another app, or you want to download another app that has a more pleasant user interface, something like that, you can go ahead and do that very easily using your seed phrase or your passphrase, other means like that. So tier 3, These exchanges tend to be a little more hot wallety is what we call them. These are DeFi wallets that you can do a lot of transactions on and are very easy, a little more user friendly for people to do swaps and interact with DeFi. So now we're starting to dip our toes into the degeneracy or the long-term investors. The choice is yours. We're going to find out the difference here in a little bit. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Of course, also, there's going to be a lot of these referral links in the comments down below. If you want to help me out, I would really appreciate it. If you guys already have these apps, though, then no stress. If you want to give me a subscribe and a like, that would go a long way as well. Tier 4, let's go ahead and get into it. Now we're getting into some real DeFi here. Now you've downloaded a hot wallet. Now you're learning about crypto. You're seeing your money go up and down double digits every single day, 10% up one day, 10% down the next day. So you're trying to figure out what else you can do with your assets. That guy you were just smoking weed with that got you into crypto a couple of months ago, they're telling you about all these other ways you can earn money on your money using DeFi. So that's how you're actually going to get involved in tier 4. You're going to start getting involved in trading or staking, or if you're doing any of these more DeFi oriented things, trading, staking, buying NFTs, investing in smaller protocols, odds are I would consider you to be in tier 4. And that's really just using your money to make more money or to actually interact with the blockchain and try and invest in more things in the blockchain, try and use your money to own some digital assets. So that's what we're doing here. Officially tier 4, there's no more centralized exchanges. You're playing around. This is your money. If you want to take out a loan on your money without asking any permission, you go ahead, you jump on that website, you connect your wallet, and you take out a loan. You don't have to ask any bank, any of this nonsense, get pre-approval, any of these limiting factors. You just jump in. You don't need a credit score, any of that nonsense. You put up some collateral, you take out your loan. That's how it works. So tier 4, if you are trading, staking, buying NFTs, investing in smaller protocols, now you're really becoming either a true degen or a true long-term investor. The only way to find out the difference between those two is how you answer tier 5. And if you or where you fall in tier 5, I suppose. And that is if you own any cold storage. That is the real differentiator between the long-term investors and the degens at the end of the day. If you're thinking long-term, if you're not just trying to trade, get your next 100x play, and trade in and out really quickly, then you're thinking about the long term. You're thinking about getting out of that generational poverty that we've all been trapped in for so long. You're thinking of escaping the generational traps that we've been in for so long. You're trying to buy Bitcoin and you're going to store it for your children's children, for your children's children's children, and so on. That's why the Lord made cold wallets or cold storage. The most common ones, as you may or may not know, are Ledger or Trezor. I'll try and find some links in the comments down below to get you guys a discounts. It will also probably help me at the end of the day. But again, the saying is not your keys, not your crypto. The difference in my mind between a degen and a real crypto investor at the end of the day is how often are you flipping? What's that itch like in the back of your mind? Do you need to be trading constantly, or are you okay buying, holding, and selling 50 years later, 30 years later, whatever it is, for your kids, for your grandkids, for yourself, way down the line? That is how you differentiate yourself between a degen and a long-term crypto investor. In my mind anyways. Guys, this has been a video straight off my dome. If you appreciate these authentic videos, please give this video a like as well as subscribe. I see a lot of AI content coming out there as well. Please support the ones that are making real content. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. How did I do with the tiers? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? I'd be happy to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Of course, guys, you already know it's Joe from New Money Crypto. We all know there's smart money, dumb money, old money. And years from now, they're going to be calling you new money. Until then, I'll catch you guys on a video later. Much love. Peace.